class, this is Professor McGuire, and I would like to do a short recorded lesson for you on lesson plan number 4, which is integrating literature and assessment, but also the assessment chart assignment. So I'm going to do them combined because they are related. So hang on, and I will share my screen with you. Let's get that going. All right, so lesson plan number 4, integrating literature and assessment, along with the assessment chart assignment. So if you go into Halo, I want you to go to the assessment chart assignment, and I want you to download this chart. You can see that it has 3 columns. There's type of assessment, what the assessment measures, and when to use the assessment. Then at the end, there will also be 3 very short answer like narratives that you will fill out. So let's go ahead and get started on this. So looking at the types of assessments on this chart, we have 10 of them. We have authentic real-life simulations, diagnostic test, formative classroom assessment techniques, observation form or notes, portfolio, reading conferences, reading interview, teacher reading record, student reading log, and summative essays and projects. So the first part on the assessment chart will be what does the assessment technique measure and when would you use it? Then the short answer questions are, which kinds of reading assessments do you expect to use most in the ELA classroom? So once you've looked up those 10, just pick out the ones that you think are the most useful for you. The next question, which is a short answer, which kinds of reading assessments do you think most support reading comprehension? So look over those 10 and decide which ones are better for reading comprehension. And then the last short answer is, which kinds of assessments do you think most encourage students' love for reading? So that would be more for love, or maybe would help like the reluctant reader. So I will have an exemplar available in Halo, but what I want you to kind of see here is that the boxes don't need to be filled out to like a huge length. Just a sentence or 2 will suffice in each of the boxes. And then if you look at the 3 short answers, there's just a couple of sentences over here in complete sentences. I suggest that you use Google when you just look up the types of assessments one at a time. You can also go to any of the resources that you've used before, like Edutopia. There's, Cult of Pedagogy, Teachers Pay Teachers, that kind of thing. And then how does that work with lesson plan 4? So I would recommend doing the assessment chart first, and then using some of the ideas that you get from that assessment chart and integrating them into the lessons for lesson plan number 4. So with lesson plan number 4, you're just going to continue with the same document that you've been working with. So we will already see lesson plan 1, 2, and 3, and now you're filling out the final one. So this is how you're going to wrap up your unit. Now you might still have a few chapters left for your students to be reading, but the main focus here is I want to see how would you be assessing. So if you look up at the top, you're just filling out your name, keep the English literature, you're keeping that same title of the text that you've been using. And now what'll happen is this will make your benchmark unit complete. Enter your grade level here, keep that the same as what you've been using for 1, 2, and 3. And we can see that lesson plan 4 is literature and assessment. Right in here with your standards. So again, if you're Arizona, use the Arizona state standards. But if you're in another state, make sure that you're using the reading and literature standards. I understand that sometimes you're using some of the writing ones, but the focus for this class really is the literature and reading. Differentiation, keep this little comment the same. There's going to be another assignment at the end of the semester on differentiation, and that's where we'll really focus. So you'll use mini lesson 1, 2, and 3 in the same way that you've been doing it for the previous lesson plans. You need to have an objective for each of the lessons, and that objective should be measurable. And this is where we're going to see where you assess. So whatever your objective is, how are you assessing that? So again, you're going to need to do the page range to be read. If it can't be done in a single class period, like a 55-minute class period, then just put this, these chapters may take 2 or 3 days to read. That way you can account for that. Bell ringer is always optional, so sometimes a lesson may have it, sometimes it might not. What are you going to teach with the I do? And then what are you going to have your students be doing, whether it's independent practice, partner work, but something that they do. I just went over assessment, and then you'll need to do whatever your materials, resources, and technology. The last section here is your reflective paragraph. So just explain how you integrated assessment into the lesson plan. And then you're just submitting it as the entire unit. I will go over the give you feedback on lesson plan number 4. So once it's time to submit the benchmark, what you'll do is you'll look at all of my feedback in the gradebook. You will address the feedback. So if I put something like suggestions for the benchmark rewrite, you will want to make those improvements in the lesson plans. I suggest that before you submit the benchmark, what you do is then highlight where you made those changes so that I can quickly and easily see that you did address the feedback that I gave you. But for right now, you're going to be doing the assessment chart and lesson plan number 4. They are both due on the same day, same week. So as I mentioned before, I would recommend doing assessment chart first. Then you can take those ideas and integrate them into lesson plan number 4. As always, I'll have samples in Halo. And if you've got any questions, just message me in the private forum and I will get back to you within 24 hours. So have fun with lesson plan 4, wrapping up the unit. All right, have a good one. I look forward to your lessons. Bye-bye.